Buonasera, good evening everyone, and welcome tonight for race 4 of the second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. Together, Jean-David will join me later on. What I suggest, while the pilots are climbing in the few cumuluses that are here around Pavullo for race 4, I suggest that we have a look to yesterday's highlights of race 3. See you in a few minutes. From the start, they are all getting ready here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Race is on. I see you, I think, starting first here, crossing the start line. David Redvan and Thomas Meyer are going for a right option for the ridges. Very interesting. Donna Pierluigi is here in the middle with Witold Rozak, Wojtek, and Norbert. Jarmo, a very good start for this for the beginning of the second FAI Virtual SGP.
Yeah, they're trying to use the reach a bit more than the others, so they're staying low and using the most of it. They still go up maybe 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers still usable, and then they need to find a good thermal, I think.
So they can take advantage of the ridges, of the best cumuluses and so on. The choices are crucial today to take the lead, because some pilots will take the lead. I don't think we're going to have 15 pilots ready to win at the end of the race, but maybe. You never know. In SGP, it's never done, and their level is so homogeneous. They are all so good that we might end up again with 15 gliders in 1 minute at the end of the race. It will be crazy. I'm really looking forward for the end of the race to see if, even with variable conditions, weak, very strong thermals and so on, we can see them all at the end of the race still very close to each other. I'm really looking forward to see that.
Yeah, I think we will see a group with very packed together, so we will see very small difference in time. So let's see after. But this street, it's that one, so you don't have so much option. At the end, if they stay together at the start and don't do strange things in the flatlands, they will be more or less together at the end.
I agree with you, and yeah, as I said, I'm really looking forward to see that. We have Tim Madsen, who's won the first day here. Bent Fest, reigning world champion, who needs to defend his crown, flying just above the Apennine Mountains. Jarmo Kärjelainen, go Jarmo, go, is saying Janne Venho on our chat. Good luck, Arne, from James Story. And another one saying, go Jarmo, go. Yanni, thank you for your support for Jarmo, the pilot from Finland, and he sent me something today from his company. His company has made a poor kind of presentation for all the employees to say that Jarmo was fighting in a world championship and that he was holding and really doing a good job, third place overall so far. So they are probably all watching from Finland now. So we are saying hi to all of them, and I would like to thank them and to thank their company for the support they are giving him. It's very important to see that. So that's really cool.
Chris now has gained some altitude, so he can get back into the race. And now we see that they are back together near the first time point. They are more or less all at the same altitude, while the British guys and the Polish guys stayed in thermal higher than the others.
Yes, we are approaching turn point 1 now. Kelvin Van Balen from South Africa at 1,100 meters, racing at 220 kilometers per hour, is going to turn that turn point. He's going to be the first pilot to turn this point today, and we're going to go straight, almost straight to turn point 2. You can see it in the background the turn point 2, some hills, some ridges in front of us, some cumuluses, as we've said, very variable weather conditions today in Pavullo and in the Apennine Mountains, a little bit tricky for our pilots. Well done, Kelvin, for turning this point today. Stewart and Scholl is second to turn this point in just a few moments. Benfest, 1,300 meters. Well, he's going to be the second one, and Stewart third one, I believe, to turn this first turn point of the race 3 today in Pavullo. The other pilots are behind and a little bit higher. We will have a look later on. It's pretty good thermals. And here we are. The second pack is here, and they are all going to join the leaders. Most probably, Arne Martin is turning. Maybe that's going to be interesting to follow when he tries to enter this thermal, if it's a good one. ICU and Alpha 33 have left this thermal. Same for Cuba, who is going to attack, going to turn point 2. Is left this one, is going for another one upwind. So he's going to the north side of those hills. Very interesting to watch. It's coming in a few seconds, everyone, with Chris from Condor. Hear you yet?
Hello.
Perfect,
Hello.
Chris. Welcome tonight with us for
Nice to
the
be here.
for the third race of this virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Condor 3 will be released within 6 months. Okay.
That's a big announcement.
And and anybody who buys Condor 2 in that period will receive a free upgrade to Condor 3.
We are reaching turn point 2 with Vic Schoenemakers. We just talked about him a few seconds ago, and Benfest, wings to wings, going to turn point 2, and now it's the way back to Pavullo. They're turning back to Pavullo, but they will turn towards Firenze first, but going to the northwest now. 269, Donna Pierluigi from France is the third pilot today, a little bit lower. Joshua Arns, X-Ray Alpha that you see here, fourth position at turn point 2 from Germany as well. And Tim Madsen, winner of the first race of this event, is on the fifth position so far.
Yeah, they seem more or less everyone packed together. We see in front Zilk and Norbert. In the end, we see Mir. It's very low. Let's hope we can climb can climb again. And we can see some different choice in the front. We see that Duke and Norbert went straight, and then the other pack stayed and turned some turns up to 2,500 meters. And this can be a good choice here because now starts the flatlands.
And that, so we are on the way back. So that's to turn point 3. Going northwest, you can see Firenze here on the south part of the task now, and then we will go north and cross the first leg to go back to Pavullo and to the reporting point that you know already, same as yesterday and the day. Stewart and Scholl from the UK still in the leading pack.
How many kilometers to go are there?
So distance flown 190 kilometers. We can see that just next to me. And it's 277 kilometers.
Oh,
so 87 to go.
80 to go.
But they are quite close. Huh? You remember, Lorenzo, at the beginning of the race, I was like, with the tricky conditions, I'm sure there's going to be some gaps in between the pilots, and they will not arrive probably all together at the end of the race. And we are 80 kilometers away from the finish line, and there are still 10 pilots almost all together, probably 5 just behind. It's crazy. They all have more or less the same level in this world final, so it's crazy. Wojtek. So Wojtek turning now the turn point 3, very close to Firenze, with Arthur Tuke below, Sean Churchill, Norbert Kiss. That's Wojciech, that Wojtek that we've seen a few seconds ago in his glider, turning the points, watching at other pilots below. Still very calm. And you can see, yeah, he's much higher than the others, and most of the pilots are behind him, so he's really well placed. Maybe he can take. He just has to take one or two thermals, and he will get back home safely. Okay, back to the race. Witold Rozak is here, 1,900 meters, 220 kph. He's a little bit behind those guys. He's looking for just a few points, but certainly not for the win. In front, we have Bisech and Sean Churchill with Norbert Kiss. It's very good to witness, honestly, from our side to watch all those guys. Bisech, of course, is reaching turn point 5 before going to the reporting point Mirage in front of us. We have Norbert Kiss on third place here. Sean Churchill is just in front of him on the left of your screen. And then after this reporting point, it's going to be a sharp turn, towards Pavullo to cross the finish line at 850 meters minimum. Wojtek is here, 220 kph. Arthur Duke behind and below. Congratulations, Bisektos from Poland, reaching the reporting point first today for race 3 of this second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix in his GS3. The Polishman, great race from him, followed by by Sean Churchill from the UK, who is at the same level, same altitude, same speed for Sean. That's a sharp turn. I would probably pull a little bit before turning because they are losing quite some energy. Wojtek is turning. He's done it. Okay, pushing for the third place. Wojtek is probably going to take the overall lead after this one. Arne Martin is here. Arthur Duke, Mialik Nos. All of them, the three of them, are ready to get some points today. Sean Churchill probably second. And Zbisek Kos from Poland is going to be the winner of the day. Sean is pushing 260 kilometers per hour. He's going to try to overtake him from below, but it's going to be difficult. Yeah, he has some more energy. There are 25 kilometers of difference. Maybe Sean is going to be able to do it. Maybe Sean is going to be able. Norbert Kiss is pushing.
I think that at the end they will be at the same points for the
Let's have a look
competition.
behind. I'm afraid that Sean is going to be too short for Sean Churchill. Bisset Kos, winner of the day of race 3, followed by Sean Churchill, second, Norbert Kiss on third place. And we have Wojtek, fourth place. The winner of yesterday's race is fourth and is getting some very good points, probably the leader of this FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix after race 3. Wojtek, congratulations. Arne Martin is here to score some more points. Mialik Nos gets some points today for the first time. Well done, Miali. Arthur Duke gets some more points, and Witold Rozak is here to take the last one, most probably. And Vic Schoenemakers is going to be on the 10th position tonight, I believe, and it's going to be too short for him. There is Stewart Henschel, so he's still fighting to get 1 point. Maybe that's going to be Stewart who's going to get that, unless he's got a penalty. No, he's going to pull hard to get to 850. Yeah, obviously. And it's going to be good for him. Today, race winner is Zbisek Kos from Poland. Very well done, and is taking the lead of the overall results as well. Congratulations to you. another Polish pilot leading and winning the race tonight. Thank you very much all, and have a good night or a good day wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. See ya.
Welcome back to the live, everyone. I am with Jean-David today. Welcome, Jean-David.
Good evening, everyone. How are you, Antoine?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Very, very fine. A little bit of delay due to technical problem. It was my turn tonight to face them, but it's okay. We are here, very pleased to follow this race again.
Yes, the race will start in about 5 minutes from now. That's the Canam view with the wind that you can see top left of the screen that you will have tonight. The race tonight is not exactly the same as in real life. They have the race, but it was really, really a short one, and we want to have a bigger show, so and a much more interesting race for the virtual. So we have a longer task of 260 9 kilometers. We have the usual start point that you are all used to watch now. Then we're going to turn point one, top left of your screen. Sorry, Corniglio, 58 kilometers. Then going to turn point two, Marcelo, which is going to the bottom right of the screen, just right here. Is turn point two. Then turn point three on the other side is going to be Paleron Phi with 64 kilometers. Right here, 64 kilometers. Then going up again this way towards Pavullo to get to turn point four, Prigne, which is very close to Mirage, the usual reporting point that we have. So 268 kilometers. Tonight for race 4, we can have a look at the weather in Condor now. You will see that the cumuluses look more or less like yesterday, very oversized, overdeveloped in Condor. So we're going to have a look in just a few seconds. As you can see, they are all getting ready next to the start line for tonight. Very interesting race with thermals and ridges again. No waves are expected, almost none or very weak, but not really exploitable for the pilots. So we are looking forward to a great race for tonight of this second FAI virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. Jean-David, are you ready for the race in 3 minutes?
Yes, I am ready. Just again, few technical problems. I don't have the countdown right now, but Timothy in the background will help us to have the right countdown at the right time. Anyway, we will see all the pilots facing the start line when it will be the right time. Okay, so as you said, Antoine, the weather looks better than in reality tonight, 2 to 4 meters per second. Quite the same meteor as yesterday, if you mentioned. So we expect a great average speed again.
Yes, 2,300 meters for the ceiling and up to 2,700, maybe even more on the mountains. They need to start the race at maximum 1,900 meters. So that's quite nice for them. It's high enough. Maybe we should have set that a bit lower to 1,700 meters to have more show at the beginning of the race.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of cumulus clouds. Yesterday was very interesting because 7 pilots ended up in a mere 20 seconds at the end of the race. So it was really, really close after 277 kilometers. It was absolutely crazy. And the top 3 that you've seen a few minutes ago was not the good one in the end, because there were some penalties due to some cloud flying. So the pilots cannot fly in the clouds. And some of them flew for 1, 2, or 3 seconds in the clouds. The game detected that, and then they had, unfortunately, to get some penalties. Let's go back to the race. The race will start in about 1 minute from now, I believe. They are all getting ready. I can see X-Ray Alpha on the left, doing 1 360 to the left to delay a little bit his start. ICU is always there. Kelvin Van Balen is often the first one to turn point one. I think that the race will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Race is on for the pilots, and a very big pack to the left. They may aim for some of the ridges, just like yesterday, to the left again.
Exactly, we can see that on the left pack we have again a lot of good pilots. Arthur, Tamas, Sean. They face the same cumulus clouds. Going left on the start line here makes the way to the first cumulus shorter. Any amount of energy is very important. We've seen that in all the races we've made in this competition. All the pilots are really good, so any millisecond is important.
Exactly, Jean-David. At the end, yesterday, at the end of the race, it was absolutely crazy. We will have a look later on at the results from yesterday, just to have a look as well at the overall results after 3 days of racing. Today is very important. You will see when we will, after having a look at those results, because you will see that two pilots have taken the lead in those results, and the other one needs to close the gap absolutely. So race 4 is very important for the rest of the competition for all of them tonight, and still some pilots need to score some points. In front of us, the pilots are flying at 190 kilometers per hour. Not that fast because they need to climb to find a good climb. Maybe going too fast at the beginning doesn't give a lot of options because they start lower than what the ceiling is. So they need to climb first before gliding a little bit further to find the best thermals. I think it's going to be pretty interesting here, a little bit dangerous. They need to take care in this first thermal. They are probably all going to be together, the 20 pilots of this second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix.
Yeah, we may see the same behavior from the pilots as we saw on the previous races. Now there is not so much ridges to use on this first leg, so maybe they will use the cumulus cloud. They will stay very grouped. Maybe we will see some different strategies, but on this first leg, I don't know if they will be so different. Maybe on the next one with the ridges, we will see other type of behavior and other ideas. So
It's very interesting, Jean-David, because they went through the first thermal and most of them decided to continue. See, some are trying. Arne Martin, Wojtek tried to take this one, but I think there were just too many here and no one was able to just turn left or right to take it. It was difficult. Now they are splitting into groups, apparently. Some going to the ridges, others going to the right side. Right now, very interesting. The main pack seems to go to the right. Only a few of them are going to the left to the ridges. I think otherwise they might have issues to reach the ridges, the highest ones later on to the left. So interesting. Miai, we will try to pronounce it correctly tonight, from Hungary, is flying there in the valley. He just went straight after the beginning of the race, after crossing the start line, not going to the ridges. I'm just going to follow the volleys. And yesterday it was quite a good option to do that. I was quite surprised, but it was as well quite a good option. The first one to cross the turn point one were the ones in the valley. They were not that high, but it was quite good. And they had good thermals options. So I think the thermals are still quite good today. And they can as well continue to just go ahead to turn point one without having to do something else. You see, Norbert Kiss is there, just in front of Mia Iknos here, and he's high enough. He's higher than Tim Madsen, and he's even further away, aiming for the next cumulus clouds. So not a bad decision, I believe, for the start of the race so far.
yeah, exactly. And yesterday, this type of decision was good ones, as you mentioned, because for Norbert and Miai, they managed to get the first point in this competition. So yesterday, Norbert scored 7 points and Yahi scored 5 points. So it is the beginning of a huge score for them. I hope they will have very brilliant ideas like yesterday to catch up the first one on the podium, maybe.
Yes, exactly, absolutely, Jean-David. Only 4 pilots didn't score points yet. It's Donna Pierluigi from France, Darius Gudjunas, Kelvin Van Balen, and Thomas Mayer. They will probably score some points before the end of the event because they are all really good pilots. We can see the 2 different options, maybe even 3 different options here. Jean-David?
Yes, the first option we can see on the south is trying to go to the ridges, even if they are quite low at the beginning of this race and in this first leg. And I think the second option, which is not the easiest but the most obvious one, is to go straight to turn point 1, trying some cumuluses. They know whether we give them which type of lift they can expect. So right now, the best pilot is the pilot who can choose, who can decide which lift to take or to leave. And as you mentioned yesterday, climbing is the same for almost all pilots at this level of the competitions. So decision making is a key to be first, and this is quite hard with the stress, as we mentioned on the previous races, to take
Ex-
the good decision and to be always on the stress to take it or not taking it. It's very difficult.
I agree with you, Jean-David.
We are with the 2 pilots who took the south option. As we can see here, the ridges are not so high. I think they are leaving them a bit to try some cumuluses. I don't know often if you know that, but does the lift have a chance to be stronger next to the ridges, or it is the same option on the flatlands due to terrain or something like that?
No, indeed, we call it thermodynamic. It's not only thermals, it's thermals that are mixed with some wind from the ridges. So it's a bit better to have some thermals above the ridges. But here, it's more like hills rather than ridges. But the higher the hills in Condor, or the higher the ridges, the better is going to be the thermal. So it's very interesting quite often to go towards those ridges. But sometimes when the weather is moderate, just like today with variometers, well, thermals between 2 to 4 meters per second, sometimes just going straight to the turn point is good enough and you don't need to do a big detour via the ridges. That's 2 options. We will see at the end of turn point 1 what it gives. Maybe the 2 pilots will get the lead and have a very good option. In SGP, you need to try some stuff. Even more when you are a little bit falling behind, you need to try some stuff. Just stopping the comments for a few seconds because I see some of you are already commenting the chat on YouTube, on Twitch, and so on, saying hello to Julien, who says thanks for the great work and your enthusiasm. Sorry. Jan saying go Jarmo, go. As usual, the followers from Jarmo Karjalainen from Finland are here. Yanni Vilayan is here as well, supporting Jarmo, who is here in the thermal. Very good view. Thank you, Timothy. We have Russell asking question about Condor 3. We will have a look at that later on. We will do a recap of yesterday interview with Chris from Condor. It was very interesting. A lot of things were announced for the future of Condor and the release of Condor 3. Back into the race, going to turn point 1 with Joshua Arns from Germany.
Yeah, and speaking about comments in the chat, we have a lot of other people speaking, and Dan Daly tell something that I didn't know. He said that there are 3 likes out of 10 on YouTube to let the algorithm spreading the word. So maybe we have to encourage you to like the live to be more spread out on the YouTube community and to be more known, because it's a fantastic world of virtual gliding, and we have to to spread it.
Exactly. So just so you know, we are live on the FAI virtual gliding channels, obviously on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, but as well on the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix YouTube channel and on the official FAI Air Sports channel. So there are a lot of chats everywhere, and we need to try to follow all accounts at the same time to make sure that we don't miss all your comments. So the easiest for us is when you go to Twitch. We try to have everyone there to ask the question and so on, and because it's the best tool for live streaming and so on. But if you want to watch on YouTube, just go there, ask your questions, and we try to answer as best as we can your questions. Tim Madsen, the winner from race one of the second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. He's got quite some good points still in the race to win it. Obviously, they are all in the race to win it. We are only at race four race remaining. And Tim Madsen is at fourth place overall with 11 points. So that's quite okay. He will want more tonight, I believe, to stay on top of that leading group on the overall results. Is on the north side, well, at the top of your screen, TKM. We have ICU here leading the race as usual on the first turn point. He needs to be a little bit careful. Kelvin from South Africa, really good pilot, but maybe taking too much risk in Condor and in the Sailplane Grand Prix so far. Taking too much risk, doing outlandings and so on. So he's risking it all to have the win of the day every day, and when he misses it, then he just cannot come back to the airfield because he just takes too much risk. So maybe he needs to slow down a bit to make sure that he can come back home when he made already some good choices and some differences with other pilots, and just stay with the leading pack to try to get the points at the end of the day. That's the most important. Sean Churchill still there. Darius Kudzona stopped in the thermal, and otherwise the main group here in the middle of your screen, they stopped in two different thermals, and some are leaving with Arne Martin and Wick Schoenemakers from the Netherlands.
Yeah, speaking about Kelvin, who is leading right now, indeed, we let every pilot to fly how he wants, and maybe Kelvin just go on each race and all in to enjoy. So we let him flying like that. It's his own style, and we won't be against that. So go, Kelvin, do what you want, enjoy.
Yeah, that's for sure. We need that for the show as well. But I'm sure he will want to get some points. I hope he is going to get the points at the end of the day because he's doing the show every day and it's not paying off. So he needs to get those points. And I think he's making a lot of differences with his attacking style. But he needs to just calm down sometimes just to understand that now he has done the job and it's enough for the day. You don't have to win every day. You can just be second, third, or on fifth position to get the points. It's good as well. So keep going the good work, Kelvin. It's good what you're doing. Wojtek is here, winner from race 2 and leader of the overall results as well. Is he was second yesterday, I believe, with the penalties, all the penalties that we've had. He went back to the second place, Wojtek.
Yes. Yes, you're right. And Wojtek, I think, is a great example of the strategy to be calm, to analyze all the pilot strategies and maneuvers, staying in a good position in middle of the group, and trying to get the lead at the end when he can, when he's in a good position, high enough with a great energy, and at the end showing all his strategy at the end, and finally get a lot of points with that. So I think this strategy won't change for the other races. When it works, you let it like that, and I wish him the best for today's race.
And the pilots are stopping in a good thermal. I was really expecting that. We've seen 2-3 cumuluses that were quite good, and I was like, I think in the next 30 seconds they're gonna just stop. Or you can see Donna Pierluigi pulling in front of Benfest. Oh my goodness. They are all pulling and climbing now in the thermal. So what's the thermal, Jean-David? Maybe you can, well, let's go to the results first. So results from yesterday, we have Zwisek Tkos from Poland in his GS3, 10 points. Wojtek second with 8 points. Almost 150 kph for everyone. And we've had Norbert Kiss as well on the third position. Overall score, Wojtek Zwisek 18 points, leading. Sean Churchill 13 points. Tim Madsen 11 points. Jarmo from Finland with his supporters is on fifth position with 9 points. Get back to the yesterday results. Sorry for that. We've had some points for Sean Miali, Arthur, Arne Martin Guttler, and for Stuart Henschel and Vic Schoenemakers, who scored a point. Overall score, as you can see, 4 pilots missing the points so far, but they are all quite close from each other. Just Wojtek and Zwisek, who have made a difference, a big difference, leading by 5 points the third place with Sean Churchill. Let's go back to the race now with our pilots climbing in that thermal. Donna Luigi, really high. He's missing a little bit of luck every day. Donna Pierre is doing some debriefings, and he's like, sometimes he's done something a little bit like Kelvin yesterday, pushing. It was good enough, and instead of stopping and staying with the leading pack to get some points, he took a bigger risk, and he lost it all. So it's very difficult to get into this very first places every day for the pilots. The level is very homogeneous among them, and we never expect such a great arrival. Every evening it's crazy. They all finish in a nutshell. It's just mental to follow those races with those pilots and with you, all the fans watching the virtual races. It's absolutely amazing. Vic Schoenemakers is here, 2,100 meters.
Yeah, you're right, Antoine, for the Napiology. Yesterday I wasn't commentating, but I was in the chat. So I decided to support a little bit the Napiology for friends. I sent a lot of messages, but apparently it didn't work. So tonight I don't send anything. Maybe it will have more luck without my help. So do not forget in the chat to support all your favorite pilots from your favorite country or just the one you like most. We will read all your messages and they will be very happy because some of them are hearing us during the race.
I have some comments on the YouTube channel of the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix. From Thunder, yeah, here we go again. What landscape are they using? It's Arc Alpin 2 for Condor 2. Yeah, it's been answered by Chris. Arc Alpin. Frank, are you there? Yeah, he's probably there watching the races with us. Go Tech Go from Nicola. That's great. Continue to comment, please, everyone. Like the videos and subscribe to the channels to follow the races. Then we're going to have 3 more races after this one. It's going to be a great event. And then we will get back to the World Series in October. If you don't know, we have a World Series event that everyone can join for free. We have 400 pilots who have registered to this event, and they can all fly together and so on. It's a very fun race for everyone to do. Not as competitive as this elite virtual Sailplane Grand Prix that we have in front of us, but very funny to compete to those races because everyone is learning a lot out of the World Series. There is one race in one different country every time, 16 races over the year with the World Series, so it's quite interesting. And it's all there to prepare the formats that we will introduce for next year, for the next World Championships. Joshua Arns, still from Germany, is here. You can see all the pilots here. They are kind of doing their own decisions. They are all together, but some are climbing, then some are just going for the next one and so on. They stay kind of all together, but still making different choices. They are not always in just a simple pack, in just one thermal. We are approaching turn point 1 in a few moments, in probably 10 to 12 kilometers from now for the turn point 1. So it went quite fast, this first leg.
Yeah, right. And speaking about the decision that have been made a few minutes ago, we can see that the two pilots who went really south compared to the others, so Sean and Darius. Finally, Darius didn't manage to catch up the leading group, but Sean has reached the others, so he's with a middle group, I would say. He take
Yeah.
a little bit of return, but now he's with the other one trying to catch up the good thermal. Right now he's with Stewart, the other British pilots, in a thermal climbing. They are at 2,100 meters for Stewart and a bit lower for Sean, but they are both in the race.
Exactly, Donna-Pierre. We continue towards turn point 1, and Kelvin is gonna have to stop. It's gonna be maybe difficult to go just over this ridge, but we will see. Maybe he has just enough energy to make it over this one, but then where are the cumuluses to climb? I am not sure he can climb after this one. He will need to get some help from the ridges maybe, or hope for something better. But yes, indeed, look at that. In that just close to turn point 1, there is not so much. He's aiming for the one maybe just on the left, but it's not a very good one, this one. It's dying. We can see it from our view with our expertise that it's not a good cumulus so far. So Kelvin is going for it. Going for turn point 1. Just like every day, going to turn point 1. Very low, but not stopping. Arne Martin Guttler from Norway here with his glider. Arne Martin, great guy, great flying. You will see later on probably his inside view from his cockpit that we love to see, because he has a virtual reality headset, and we can see very well all the other pilots who are in the thermals and so on. Hopefully he can still stay at the well, leading the race at the top of the race, so that we can follow him until the very last moment in his cockpit. That's good for the show as well for us, to show what he's doing and what you can do when you're inside this his glider. Let's have a look at turn point 1. So Kelvin Van Balen from South Africa is going for it. Turn point 1 at almost 1,200 meters. He's pulling. Maybe there is a small thermal here. We will have a look in a few seconds. Well done, Kelvin, reaching turn point 1 first today in the valley here. 120 kilometers per hour. Very good. Maybe we can have the average speed, Timothée, just to see where all the pilots are right now in the race. 150 kilometers per hour for ICU. We have Tim Madsen with 140, Alpha Mike almost the same now that we have in front of us. Norbert Kiss 138. So there are 10 kilometers of difference between ICU and TKM, but ICU needs to climb, as you can see. So it's the difference between the total energy that we are talking every day. So the kinetic energy plus the potential energy gives you the total energy, and ICU has much less potential energy because it's much lower than those pilots. So it's kind of the same average speed for now. ICU needs to climb to be in a better position.
Yeah, and we saw the difficult situation where he puts himself, because just turning turn point 1, he faced a lot of ridges which are higher than him, and nobody around turn point 1 was still climbing in the lift, so finding the good spot to climb may be harder. Now we have Tim Madsen going through turn point 1. Congratulations. Good position for the next 10 points. Alpha Mike, Arne Martin, the third pilot to turn point 1.
Very interesting
done.
because team is going
Yeah.
straight forward here to go just around the ridges here, it seems. While Arne Martin is just going towards turn point 2, just like ICU, just like Charlie November. So not the same tactic that we see here.
We will see the wind, even if it's not so strong, is in the good direction to push them on the ridge, and maybe the ridge will finally give a lift. I think that Kelvin put a bet on it. He's trying it, but it seems
It's
to be difficult.
full ridge.
Full ridge for him. So turn point 2 is just in front of him. We can see it on the back of the screen right now. And the line of the ridges, which are quite high on the right, can be a good idea to reach turn point 2 with a great average speed without cycling a lot. We'll see this strong idea will be taken. Benfest right now, 2,300 meters.
So that was a good option. He stopped with Donapierre. We've seen them a few seconds ago in the background when we were watching ICU. They stopped together in that thermal. Donapierre went left the thermal a little bit earlier. He's reaching the turn point right now. And Benfest 2,300 meters took his time to be high because he knows that after this turn point it's going to be difficult. And there are not a lot of thermals just next to the turn point.
Some messages in the chat in the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix channel. Chris say go to the Germans, also Donapierre, as he seems really nice guy, and I appreciate how much the French are doing to support gliding as a sport. Thanks for hosting this stream as well. It's always a pleasure. We transfer the message for the German pilots and Donapierre. We wish them a great fly.
Very good. Tim Madsen, so he took a different route. He's going for those ridges there. Maybe there is small cumulus above him. It's not easy for Tim. Yes, there is something, but you see it's dying. But there is another one which is a little bit better just behind. So I think he's going for the second one here. We will see in a few seconds. Let's have a look at QNAB map with the ridges. It's been asked in the chat. Which is a good idea. You can see Tim Madsen just on top of your screen going for that ridge. That looks quite good. This ridge is okay. We'll see if he's stopping for cumulus and for a thermal. Otherwise, the routes that the pilots are taking are quite different. We can see there is a pack, but they are not really flying together. They are all making their own decisions so far. So it's quite interesting to see. As we said in the previous races, Jean-David, those pilots, they try to take advantage of some situations from time to time. They just try to have a good thermal sometimes, be the first one to get in and so on, to be above all the others. So yeah, it's interesting. It's really the beginning of the race now, and we are going to go to turn point 2 and cross all the ridges towards turn point 2. There are 71 kilometers towards turn point 2.
And this screen is very interesting because you can see that the strategy may be associated with altitude because Arne Martin, Stewart, and the others going really south, so going straight to the relief, are quite low compared to the other. You can see 1,000 meters, 1,300, about or below 1,400. When all the pilots that are way higher are taking a straight line to turn point 2 and maybe reach the higher ridges as fast as they can. So going on the small ridges, maybe not a choice, but they need to go there to find something to climb and to start taking another decision. Yes, very interesting situation. X-Ray Alpha Joshua was a bit higher, so you can see that now he took the lead. He didn't have to go around the small ridges to avoid them, or to he did not need to find the lift right there. He go straight above, and now he's on the first position.
Jean-David, we said that we would stop to bet, but I think that Benfest is in a good mood today. He's in a good mood. Why? Because his compatriot Stefan Langer won the race in the Real Sailplane Grand Prix. We would have liked to show you highlights. We're going to check if the highlights are available now, but they were not available just before the beginning of the race. By the way, he's made a great video about the Sailplane Grand Prix there in Pavullo. You can go have a look on his channel and subscribe to his channel. Great job from Stefan. A very good race today. It was super short, 120 kilometers, because they had the bad weather. And in Condor, we would have made the same race in 1 hour, which is not enough for the live streaming that we are aiming for. So we decided to do a longer task today to have a longer show of 45 more minutes, something around that. So yeah, that was our choice because it would have lacked of dynamic. Probably there would have been a lot of outlandings in Condor with such bad weather and so on. It's very difficult to calibrate the weather with when it's very difficult in real life. So we were like, okay, just let's go for a show. The pilots need to fly. They need to fly well and to have some options, because when it's bad weather, you don't have a lot of options. Everyone arrives at the same time with only a few meters of difference, but the race is not enough. The race is not enough. We needed to have a much bigger race today. Joshua Arns is there. You can see Benfest is coming back in that pack, and is going to be among the first ones here in this pack. We've seen in the background just a few seconds ago that Tim Madsen had climbed almost at the ceiling as well. So he's going to try to come back in this direction as well. But it was probably not the best option so far. I think Ben took his time before, and now he's climbing patiently with Donapierre here. Is going for the right turn with Donapierre instead of the other thermal just next to him. We will see what's the best one. Yeah, he's not happy with this one. He's going with the full group. Tim Madsen, 2,000 meters. 2,000 meters. So he's had a good cumulus. The turn point 2 is quite far away, 71 kilometers. And they can use all the ridges there to reach the turn point 2. Turn point 2 is behind the end of those ridges that we have in front of us. So it's going to be very interesting. Some will try to get to the ridges earlier. I think the main pack is going then straight to the ridges and then trying to get some lift from the ridges. It's going to be interesting. Sean Churchill is there below everyone here, and Sean is on third position overall, so he needs to keep going. He's had amazing races so far. We were not expecting him at such a high level, so very consistent flying and so on. Very well done from Sean, straight from race one. Very brilliant skills. So it's really good. Sean, he was flying before in real life when he was a junior pilot doing junior nationals in Great Britain, and then he stopped due to work, like a lot of people in the gliding world. So he used to fly in Condor afterwards and so on. Never stopped Condor for more than 15 years. So yeah, he's a very good pilot and he knows the game for sure. Jarmo Karjalainen is in this thermal as well, climbing on fifth position, overall. Jarmo with 9 points, so he's quite well placed as well for a podium or a win at the end of this event. Very good level from Jarmo, the only one to fly the GS1, which is a pretty good glider in 18 meter class with 48 kilos. But he is the only one with this one. The pilots had the choice. And by the way, yesterday evening with Chris from Condor, he invited that we would have the AS33 in 18 meters and 15 meters, which is a brand new Alexander Schleicher glider from Germany. Very competitive glider. I'm looking forward to try it in 48 kilos per meter square with all the other gliders around to see if he can have more advantage than the others, because 2 years ago at the World Finals, Sebastian Cabra has won the real FAI Sailplane Grand Prix in Saint-Auban with the AS33. So it was just coming out from the factory, this glider, and he's made very good races, Sebastian Kawa, with this glider. So looking forward to have it in the game in the next, within 6 months. That was the announcement from Chris yesterday. Condor 3 will be out and will be released within 6 months from now.
Yeah,
Joshua.
speaking about Condor 3, Antoine and Chris was very kind to see us, to come and see us yesterday. Do you have the main improvements that will be made on Condor 3? You spoke about the AS33, you spoke about the delay for the release, but is there some other informations that we can resume maybe?
Yes, we have released on our social medias kind of recap from yesterday's announcement from Chris. I'm gonna read some of those, but you can watch again replay the live from yesterday. He arrived after approximately 1 hour of race, and he stayed until the end of the race to comment with us the race and to answer the question from the viewers. So he said Condor 3 would be released within 6 months, and that if you buy Condor 2 until then, so starting from yesterday, if you buy Condor 2 starting from yesterday until the release of the game, they will give you Condor 3 for free, meaning you can start flying on Condor 2 now, and you will get the new game for free within 6 months when it when it comes out, because they don't want you to pay twice for an evolution of the game. Well, even if it's a very brand new game that they're making, they don't want to uh, how to say that to they want to be fair. They want to be fair with the people and the fan and with the community. So that's very great from him. They have remade the entire landscape of Slovenia with photorealistic texture, a much bigger landscape which includes Austria as well, some parts of Italy and of Germany, and some parts of Croatia. So it's going to be very interesting, amazing landscape. Weather, you all know, we've talked about it 2 years ago. It was work in progress already. Uh, they have improved quite a lot the weather. I'm not going to state all of the features that are in the weather, but he said yesterday that there will be 3 dynamic weather zones that the pilots will be, the task setter will be able to use to create a new task. All the planes from Condor 2 have been remade with extra features, new models, and so on. You don't need to buy again the gliders in Condor 3. Let's say, for example, the Ventus 3 is going to be in Condor 3. If you've bought the the Ventus 3 in Condor 2, it's going to be free for you for Condor 3. You're going to keep your glider. You don't have to buy it twice. In the new game, 8 gliders are included in the basic version. The Genesis, which you all know, will be moved to the club class instead of standard class, and they have added the ASW28, which is a new glider for Condor, into that Condor 3 version, a free version of the 28 for the standard class. Then 5 new gliders will be released. Payware gliders will be released on the date of the release of Condor 3, SG32MI, LAC Mini, SF28, AS33, we said it, and obviously the SW28, which is free. Much improved onboard flight computers, you will see, and virtual reality as well will be improved, because that's a request from some people from the community, but not in version 3.0, but in a further update. It still needs to be worked, but it will not be ready within 6 months. That's more or less what has been said yesterday with Chris. There is a full interview with him with much more details. So I strongly invite you, if you're interested in Condor 3, to have a look at that and go watch the live from yesterday. Jean-David, where are we in the race?
Yeah, just a few seconds before, Dan Giantic asked a question about that. Did he say the price for Condor 3? I think it's important. So he said that it was the same price as Condor 2. That way I answer the only question. Thanks again to Chris to come and see us and enjoy the race with us. Right now, if you are joining us, you are watching the race 4 of the second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. They are all fighting to get some points and to get the lead of the overall competition. Right now, we are into leg 2, so we are between turn point 1 and turn point 2. We are coming right now from north and we're going south, following different ridges. And as we see here on the 2D view, thank you, Tim, for this view, the different pilots right now are almost at the same position, except from Tim. They are following the ridges to go as fast as possible to turn point 2. We can see that everyone is here. We have Vitol, we have Donna Pierluigi, we have Thomas Meyer, we have David Redman, Arthur, etc. I see you. So the pilots from South Africa, Kelvin, again, he's too low. We can see it on the screen right now. Next to me, he's 1,300 meters, so he has to deal with the small ridges. He can go straight like the other. As always, Kelvin is going a bit too fast on the start of this competition, so he is low, and you have to face the consequences of this choice. And on the right of the screen, just above me, you have Tim Madsen. He took a pretty strong decision after turn point 1. He decided to go on the valley and to go on the ridges after that. But it is a very important decision because it's at the same level as the other, and I didn't say that.
We are going to go back to Condor 3 because the pilots have just reached those ridges, and it's quite impressive. Great landscape, great views for you, the viewers, tonight. 1,900 meters with Thomas Meyer in his Ventus 3 from Champierre. It's, yeah, they're just riding them, just riding the ridges one by one. Donapierre is there in the leading pack. That's very good for him. A little bit of luck maybe tonight for Donapierre. You see, they need to go through there. They don't. They have to be high enough to go through those ridges. Be careful, guys. Be careful. At least 1,900 meters, I would say, to go over this ridge. So that's why they take their time. Yep.
Yeah, Joshua is here in a good position, like two other pilots right now, to go up above this small corner right there. I'm happy to see Donna Pierluigi right now. Maybe he went slower on the beginning of the race. He's in good position right now, following the leaders. It's a good strategy to score some points. He needs them because he's one of the pilots who didn't score yet. Very, very good decision to go on the ridge at this altitude, because right now, as you can see, they can fly without losing so much height, so much altitude, and they are flying at over 160 kilometers per hour. With this strategy, it is sure the average speed will rise.
Great job. Great job. That's the overall leading pilot, Zbigniew Kos from Poland. He was the winner of the race yesterday, of race 3, on the third day of our event. Same amount of points for Wojtek. With in front of him, Witold Rozak leading the race here with Vic Schoenemakers and Donna Pierluigi. Very good flying. And we've seen to the left, there was as well a TKM, Tim Madsen, but with a different route, going to in the valley and climbing high above those mountains, just going straight. I believe he's just going straight, not using the ridges, just going for the cumuluses today. That's a big strategy, a big option for him to do that. He needs to stomp and to climb compared to the others, but he's gonna be much higher than those pilots. So maybe it will pay off at the end of the day. Very interesting. It's a big decision from Tim, a big option. He's taking some risk to get the maximum amount of points today. We are in live with Tim Madsen in his glider with 2.7 for the Macready. 2,500 meters almost.
Yeah, he's right now reaching the cloud base, so maximum altitude possible without any penalty. I didn't thought he would make the so good decision. I was a bit nervous about it. Right now he's very high, very good position. He took a strong decision. Maybe it was a good one. We didn't see that, but a few pilots, Arthur, Sean, etc., went below him. So at the first time, they took the decision to go on the ridge, but they didn't find any or enough good lifts. So they went lower and lower, and they need to climb. So they saw Tim Madsen climbing very well, and they decided to join him in a good thermal. You see how Tim analyze the other pilot on the ridge. That's fantastic with the VR headset. He's looking out of them. He's on the good position, like in the control room, analyzing all the directions, all the speeds. Who is taking the lead? Yeah, I think maybe Tim, if you put some routes for a longer time, we will see that all the trace will follow them each other like that. Exactly. Thank you, Tim. So they are about the same amount of energy in one position when they go through the mountain. Some of the pilots are ahead in the race, but they are all following the same path at the same altitude. That's interesting. Benfest may be taking a new strategy, following a new ridge. I guess the next ridge is about perpendicular to the track, and we will see some other decisions because they may be a bit low to go on the right. Oh no, they are good. Also, Benfest is good to go right here on the right and on the ridge. Maybe
But
the other weren't too high.
the pilot must be careful because the wind is at 11 kilometers per hour today, and it's less powerful than it was yesterday and the day before. 2 days ago, it was quite powerful. They could use the ridges very well. Today, the wind is weak. They're just going to have some energy to stay level, but not that much to gain proper energy to fly very fast and so on. So they need to be careful not to fly too fast, I think. And we've seen them flying at 170 kph on those ridges. Usually they go at 200, 220 because there is a lot of energy. So today it's a bit more. They need to take care of their energy and to manage it very well to find the best lines of energy. That's what Ben is trying to do, going to the right and then to the left over those ridges and so on, just to try to find the right spot to gain the maximum amount of energy. Back with the 2D view, Jean-David.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The pilots were following the same path along the ridge, but right now, depending on the altitude, the behavior of the ridge they faced until now, the behavior of the cumulus clouds and the lift they faced before on the first leg, they took different decisions. It is interesting how Tim Madsen is going so straight, so parallel to the path. I don't know if it was possible like that, but he took the shorter path to turn point 2. He is very, very high right now. And the other pilots, so we can see that Vic and Thomas Meyer, Jan Benfest, Arne Martin, and Joshua take the south way along the highest ridges. And in north, they are going maybe on the smaller ridges. So Wojciech changed his mind. He saw that Donna Pierluigi and Kuba are going fast. Maybe they are in a better situation, so he decided to join them. Speaking about this view, we have a small message from Dandeli. Sorry for spelling it wrong. He said that loves the wing sock on the screen, so we implemented it today. It's great to have some feedback from you, the viewers. If you have any ideas to to add any things to improve our way to comment, our way to analyze, or to have more fun in this show, maybe you can just send us a message. It is always a pleasure to work and to make it better. Going back with Jarmo.
Well said, Jean-David. Your help is always very much appreciated, and we have very good feedback, very constructive and positive feedback. So every time someone can try to bring something, it's very helpful for us as well to get your feedback. So don't hesitate to reach us. Back in the race with Tim Madsen, who was really high, if you remember. That is higher than Donapier, much higher than Donapier and Kuba, who went for the ridges and who pushed quite a lot. Now they will need to climb at the next cumulus, but Team can just, well, they will be too low to go over that ridge. So maybe Team has made a pretty good decision now. Because I don't see where those pilots are going to climb. I don't see how they can manage that. Team perfectly anticipated that moment. It's a good idea to stop. Benfest, you see, with Joshua Arns, took the biggest ridges here, and he's taking those ones because he knows that they might get stuck behind those mountains. And I think it's going to be difficult for Kuba and for Donapier. Maybe they will find something under that cumulus just next to these ridges, but it's a very big risk because if they don't have anything, then it's almost the end of the game for them tonight.
Yeah,
They
they
may
are stuck.
not get. Yeah, they are stuck, and they might be stuck for 20 minutes. And in 20 minutes, you can lose everything. In SGP, we get the points in 20 seconds. So if you're not amongst the first to get the points, that you don't get anything. So you need to take some risks from time to time to win the day, but sometimes it's too much. You need to manage your energy, the proper risks that you can accept, and so on. And Joshua is following Benfest on the ridges. He knows that he needs to be careful here. They are flying, as you can see, at 150, 140 kilometers per hour on the ridge. They need to take the energy. There is not enough wind to help them today. They need to slow down to take that energy. Vic Schoenemakers, he made it. I think he made it over this small gap, but Donapier is stuck behind with Kuba. Vic has been able to pass over this ridge. He's been lucky. Tim Madsen going for thermal air, turning left. Well done. Benfest back with him at 1,800 meters. Arne Martin is behind, but yeah, Ben is going for the full mountain here, not cutting anything, not trying to make it shorter. He's taking the long route to make sure that he can go over all of those ridges at the end of the day. It's not easy at all. Not a lot of lift today next to the ridges. Really a difficult task for the pilots tonight. We were expecting that. Joshua Arns finally decided to go straight ahead. We can see Zbisec with Witold Rozak and Arthur Zug, the Polish guys, climbing while Kuba is stuck there. They are climbing. Joshua is trying to pass through this hole here. Very difficult situation.
Yeah, it is a stressful moment for him. He has speed, so it's okay, but he knows that he has a lot of margin, so he has to be careful. Following the leaders is not always the best idea because here Benfest may be a bit higher and maybe took it more slow, find some small lifts along the ridge, and he managed to go above a small ridge, but maybe the one who follow will not, so it's kind of dangerous. Arthur has margin. He's way higher than the ridges, and now he has Tim in front of him who is showing all the pilots where the lift is. That's impressive how team managed to be higher and way higher than the other. You can see on the background very, very far away that we have Vitold and another pilot you can see. We have Vitold who seems to be high, but far away from Team. Team is in very good position. Oh no, Donna Pierluigi tonight, he's in trouble.
It
He's,
seems very difficult for the pilots tonight here.
Yeah.
They need to be very careful to pass those ridges. It's the main difficulty of today. Just like in a cycling race with the different mountains and hills that they need to climb every day, you have category 2, 3, 4 for those mountains, and today it's the same. They need to pass those ridges to go to turn point 2, and then on the way back to turn point 3 as well. They need to make sure that they are high enough. Tim Madsen is going for the chill mode as high as possible from the very beginning of the day, not taking any risk, just flying calmly, trying to take the good decision and stay high, and is properly leading the race. We cannot say anything else. Very good decisions from him, a very good lead. I think he's going to have a 2 minutes lead over the other participants when reaching turn point 2. So that's pretty amazing to witness tonight. Very good flight from Tim Madsen.
Yeah, just before joining Team to turn point 2, I have to admit that when he turns turn point 1 and going on flatlands, I didn't think it was a good idea, because on the previous races we saw that the first pilot reaching the ridges were so fast and they took the lead on each race. Tonight it's almost the same weather as yesterday, so I expect the same behavior, but Team made it in a magnificent way. He took it slow, took it far away from the others, another decision. And this is how you make the difference. A big difference comes from a big decision. That's what Team did tonight. A very, very strong leading. Very interesting situation. And we didn't see so much advance from any other pilot in any other races. Very fantastic flight until now from Team. Some of the viewers are agree with me. Julien Létard said, "What a great flight from TKM from the time being." Yeah, you're right. It's fantastic to see. And now Tim Madsen with great attitude, great position, will turn point 2 in first place of this race 4 of FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. Congratulations for the amazing flight.
Well done, team. Well done, team. Very good decision so far. The highest one throughout the race so far, and he has probably a 2-minute lead over the competitors tonight. Very good decisions. He stayed very high instead of going to the ridges. So amazing flying from him.
Look at that map. We never seen that until from the beginning
Never
of
so
the race.
far.
That's amazing. Let's go, team. Show must go on. Go to turn point 3.
That's absolutely crazy. He will have a lot of options as well in to go to turn point 3 tonight. I have no doubt about it. He's a very good pilot flying every day. So turn point 3, it's going. He can follow a little bit the ridges here, but he will need to go downwind. He will need to pass on the south side of those ridges at some point, because it's in the valley just after Carrara. If you remember, at race 2, we went to Carrara, the marble city, if we can call it like this, very famous for that. Very close to the sea. We'll see the sea again tonight, close to turn point 3. So he needs to go down to the valley there, and then we'll come back straight to Pavullo via 2 points that are very close to from Pavullo. So that's what we can expect later tonight. Not taking any risk. He's just getting back to the main pack. He's gonna climb with this very good thermal, and then he will continue on his own, going to turn point 3. Clever way to not take any risk tonight. Very well done.
Yeah, again, a safe decision. He was there just a few minutes ago. He was taking this lift in first position. Right now, the time has passed. The other have climbed, but they are still in the same lift. He knows it's good. It's good enough to make the other pilot lift. So why not going again into it before crossing the valley? Maybe we can just go back a few seconds on the 2D map to see to have a better view on the other way to turn point 3, as you mentioned. They can follow the ridge for, let's say, a half of this leg, but at one time they will need to cross the valley, join other ridges on the other side, and they will need some height to do that. I know Tim will manage that well.
A question from the chat quickly, just to know how much distance is left. So we'll have a look in Condor 3 more precisely later on. But going from turn point 2 to turn point 3 is around 64 kilometers, then 60 kilometers back to turn point 4, and then only something like 15 kilometers to go. So not that far away from the finish. 100 and let me do that quickly. 135 kilometers to go. 135, a bit less now because Tim has done 10 more kilometers probably. So yeah, it's good. I said on Condor 3. Yes, maybe. That's a possibility. I'm already there.
We are tired.
I'm tired, but yeah, we talked about Condor 3. So yeah, back to Condor 2 and not Condor 3 yet. We'll have to wait a few more months, as explained yesterday by Chris. Very good racing. Arthur Duke from Poland, reaching turn point 2. Second position here at 2,360 meters. Very good flying. He's holding it. Arthur, how many points for you so far, Arthur?
6 points. I just watched it. So he scored 2 points on the first race and 4 points yesterday. So 6 points in total. Very great. He is always on the middle of the scoring table.
We have Wick Schoenemakers from the Netherlands just below at yeah, probably at 500 meters below. He has 9 points on the 5th position of the ranking. Wick Schoenemakers. Arne Martin Guttler is going for turn point 2. David Redman in front of us. He's missed some of the best thermals maybe because he's done very good practice days, David, but he couldn't manage yet to get a lot of points. Well, he has 7 points, so that's good, but he could have done better because he has a very good level in Condor, very good skills. So we can expect more from the Australian pilots. Benfest as well can do more. He's lost 5 points on the first day because of a penalty. It cost him a lot of points. 5 points because now Benfest has 6 points. If you add those 5 points, he has 11 and he's on 4th position, or he maybe even 3rd because he's lost so much point that the others have taken them.
Yeah.
So yeah, he needs to get those points. He's been pretty unlucky, but yeah, he told me it's really my bad. I flew too fast to cross the start line at race 1, so I deserve the penalty. I deserve to lose those points. Very fair play from him, by the way. So yeah, I hope for him he's gonna close the gap today with a good flight. Tim Madsen just doing his race on his own, just leading the pack. But you know, Tim was flying 2 years ago at the first virtual Sailplane Grand Prix, and it was harder for him in Saint-Auban. It means that in 2 years he has practiced a lot, and that he has improved his flying a lot as well, and he's very clever. He has very much improved all his skills, his decision making, and so on. And he's a much better pilot than he was 2 years ago. That's for sure. When we see what we see tonight and we've seen the previous days, it's amazing from Tim, honestly.
Yeah, strong mindset on these 4 races right now. And we have a request from John Davis who asked if we can have a look at Sean and Stewart and Charles to have informations about the UK team. So you see Sean is in the leading group behind Aaron Martin, obviously. He's catching up all the other pilots with him about the same altitude, about the same speed. So he's in the group. He will have to fight to get some more points in this type of group. It is impressive how much a second can give 1 or 2 points. So very intense flight in front of him in the next moment of the race. And having a look at Stewart and Scholl, Golf Hotel Kilo is also in this thermal, just a bit higher. They are together. I don't know if they are speaking in a private channel, but right now they managed to have about the same behavior because they are the same points, same altitude, and we will see if they manage to continue this way. Tim Madsen, always in autopilot.
Exactly, is flying straight toward that cumulus, and we just passed mid-race, 269 kilometers tonight, and those pilots are in a very good thermal. The not the leading pack, but the outsiders for today. Let's say, yeah, because Tim has taken a great advantage. He's more than 2 minutes ahead now, 3 minutes probably. So very good flying, very good decision making from Tim. The rest of the pack is there with Vic Schoenemaker doing quite a good job tonight. He's in the mood. Stewart and Scholl is leaving this thermal. They need to be careful with the cloud penalties. Yesterday they've had some penalties, and they must be really careful with that because they are losing a lot of points when they enter into a cloud. It's 10 seconds per second spent into a cloud. Into a cloud. So if you spend 3 seconds, you're losing 30 seconds, just like Arne Martin has had yesterday. And 30 seconds yesterday, you go from position 1 to position 8, and you get just 2 points where you were supposed to just win the race. So they need to be very careful with that.
Yeah, maybe Timothy, you can show us some informations of all the pilots at one time, maybe the distance flown and the altitude of the first pilots to have a look in the commentaries. They said that they will request the distance to finish and TKM heights and the other heights to have a bit of a statement where we are in the race. So if you have that would be great. Speaking about improvements, one of the viewers was there a long time ago, and he speak about some drawings we could do on the map to explain a bit where the gliders are going, what tactics they are making. You're right. It was a good idea. We didn't
Jean-David, he knows how to do that. He has done that already in few races previously, so he knows how to do that. Maybe we can try to have a look to implement that again for the next races if you are very interested in that. Sometimes we just try new things for 1, 2, 3 races, and if we don't have the feedback but yeah, we've had positive feedback. It was quite some time ago, but we've had positive feedback on that one indeed. By the way, we've had the distant flown on the left side. You've had a look. Maybe we can have a look later on the average speed team to just see what's the gap between Tim Madsen, what's his current speed, 140 kph. You see 12 kilometers of difference between Tim and the second pilot, Stewart and Scholl, and basically the main pack. We can see that the 10 first pilots are really in a nutshell with Benfest at 126 kilometers per hour. Here they are all super close. So apart from Tim, who should take the lead and should win the day if everything goes well, because the race is still long. He can make some mistake. He can just end up in a hole, and then the other pilots behind are just climbing very good thermal. It happens quite often, even more when you are alone and in front of the race. It happens quite often in SGP, so he needs to be careful with that. But quite a good lead, and for the rest, of the points that will be delivered tonight. We have 9 pilots who can aim for that for sure, and maybe Norbert Kiss, Pisech, Redman will get back as well. They are just behind a few seconds behind. So we are all here and ready to have a great show at the end of the race again. As you can see, we are 4 of them here.
Yeah, it's already a great show right now. This is this kind of moments we expect in this type of show of virtual racing. The pilots, wow, thank you team for the great views right now. This is virtual gliding race.
You see, he has to zoom on his PDA, on his flight computers, to make sure that he can see all the gliders. He doesn't want to collide and so on. He's checking his PDA, Wojtek, right now. We can see Jarmo on his left, Arthur Duke here, Sean Churchill on the right. The Polish gang is here. And Sean is flying with Stewart today, and we can see them quite often together. That's very interesting. I don't know, indeed, as you said, Jean-David, if some of them are flying, are cooperating during the races to try to get more points, because it's the big issue when you're coming into that world final and you see the 5 Polish guys. You're like, oof, 5 pilots out of 20 are from Poland. They're gonna just get all the points every day. They've had 2 race day win already, so it's very impressive. You know that it's a very strong group, very good pilots, all of them. So probably some other pilots need to collaborate together to try to do something else, something different, to get the points and to win the races during this world final.
Maybe that's a great moment to see how the pilots are in the back of the pack, because we have 2 pilots who are at the end, Kilo, Juliet, Kuba, and Donna Pierluigi. We have a lot of them. Maybe team, you can just go a bit north on this map to see where they are, because it is interesting. Again, Donna Pierre is is here. So as we mentioned previously, Donapierre was in a tricky situation. He was quite low without a lot of energy, so he has been trapped into some down valleys, and he didn't manage to catch any lifts apparently. So he has just flown good down to the valley, trying to be safe and to fly safe. That's what we would have done in real life too. Fly safe is the first idea, and now he's very low, just a few hundred meters above the sea level. Maybe he's trying something. Maybe he's trying to outline safety successfully. We hope him the best. Maybe just a bit too fast on short moments, and as you mentioned, you can lose everything with just a small leak of energy at one time. Kilojet is the same. Deltanan has lost energy way before in the race. He's trying to catch up, but it's difficult. He's just turning turn point 2 right now. And Donapierre and Kuba, we don't know when they will be able to turn point 2. They need to climb a lot before.
Exactly. They are Donapierre is very close from outlanding. ICU was had to outland 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago. ICU pushing too much. We're talking about it. First to turn point 1, and then not slowing down enough. Donapierre and Kuba, they went too fast on the ridges. I think they didn't maybe anticipated that the ridge were not as good as the previous days with only 11 kilometers per hour. So yeah, they went too fast today. They will do better tomorrow, I am sure. Back with the main pack with Wojtek, Soltizik, Sean Churchill and Arthur Zuk are there on top of the thermal. Thomas Mayer maybe is going to take his first points today. He's looking for that. Arne Martin is there. Stewart Chenshaw as well. Jarmo, very good flying, going straight. Vic Schoenemakers has left as well earlier the thermal. He didn't even stop, I believe. Very interesting to follow towards those ridges. And they need to go just where TKM is, you can see it just after, it's just this track, this direction behind TKM. Still some dozens of kilometers to go there, but it's towards turn point 3 that we can see in the background. Climbing 2.5 meters per second, quite good, and they are leaving the thermal. Let's talk a few seconds about Trustmaster. There is a giveaway on Facebook and on Instagram. You need to go on our channels. It's written down below. FAI Virtual Gliding for Facebook, Instagram. Please subscribe. It's very important for us. You need to like the post, comment the post, and share it to enter the giveaway winner to be announced during the last day on Saturday. Promo code 15% off for Trustmaster if you need to buy a new joystick. I would highly recommend, if you have 50 euros, just to buy the T16000M. Just the joystick. You can have the throttle if you have the money, but if you just have 50 euros and it's a little bit difficult for you, you can get that T16000M, which is the bottom left here of your screen. A very good joystick, very precise to buy. Otherwise, there is a QR code just next to it. You will see. So 2 QR codes, one for Trustmaster to buy something and one for Condor 2. So you can buy Condor 2 using this QR code that you will see in a few seconds here. And if you buy Condor 2 now, you're going to get Condor 3 for free. You're going to get Condor 3 for free if you buy it from now. Because you've never tried Condor or whatever, you want to join the races later on, you can do that. And when we will switch to Condor 3, you will get Condor 3 for free. It's been announced yesterday by the developers and by Chris from Condor. We will put the link in the chat for that. And let's go. We can get back to the race now with Tim Madsen leading the race with a very good lead.
Yeah, he's calm now. He has crossed the valley that we were speaking about as the other pilots. Calmly, he has lost a lot of altitude, but it's quite normal because he hasn't found any good lift until the ridges. There are some cumulus clouds, but pilots are going straight. They are trying to find a path along the ridges, which can be seen right there. Finding energy lines is important because when you are going to a turn point or to an airport, something like that, with the same path, just a few kilometers right or left, you can find a better line of energy. And in the long distances like that, going into great energy lines can give you a little bit of potential energy, but a bit of potential in addition at the end of this way can make the difference. So they need to find and to look for the best way to run fast to turn points. That's what Jarmo tried here. He went to the most abrupt ridges here. As you mentioned in yesterday's race, I think he's at the good position, maybe just a bit too high to find the best energy of the mountain, but he's well placed right now.
He's really well placed.
Yeah.
Jarmo has done a very good job. Sean Churchill is always there as well. So, as I said, pretty consistent flying, pretty good over the races so far. I love those landscapes in this ridge. Honestly, it's absolutely beautiful. And Carrara, that we talked about a few days ago, is just on the left there, just towards the sea. It's amazing. The light gray, light marble that you can see there. It's those mountains that produce the great marble from Italy for the architecture and so on. Amazing place to go if you go to Italy in this region in real life. Go there. It's really beautiful to visit and to have a look. Arne Martin Guttler with Arthur Duke, Vic Schoenemaker's a little bit below. Voschet's Wojtek Soltyzik is there as well. Arne Martin stopping. He's trying to take something because there is a nice cumulus cloud and the ridge. So he's like, okay, let's try. Maybe it's a thermodynamic here and I can get a good one. Arne Martin still, while others are pulling, he's pushing, pulling again. Let's continue. Thomas Meyer, good flying. He's gonna stop here. He has a thermal and Arne Martin as well. So be careful, guys. They are going in the wrong directions. They need to decide if they want to turn left or right. But that's very difficult when you are competing like this with such a high level. Every second count, and going to the other side means you will lose probably 20 seconds. So they are stopping. They're like, okay, I'm gonna just go. Arne keeps this one, and Thomas is going because he was probably like, it's quite unsafe. I need to leave here. It's okay. I prefer to leave than to get into a mid-air collision and have the race stopped for me. Today we can see the sea on the left, beautiful Mediterranean Sea, obviously.
Yeah, it was a great mindset to leave, because here in virtual, our lives are not in danger. So maybe we could take some more dangerous decision, but as we are in the organization, we ask the pilots to fly safe. Even if they are in virtual, we ask them to have the same behavior as in real life. This is what we've seen right now. So this is very great to see that this type of behavior. Speaking about Thrustmaster again, just a second. So we've sent the link into the chat. So don't forget to click just to have a look at their products. This is a great link for us. So Thrustmaster are counting the different links. So if you want to help us to be known by different sponsors, just click, have a look at the shop. It's very interesting products, and it will help us a lot.
Just to say, we don't get any money from Toastmaster. Just to make sure. And when you click and when you buy, we don't get anything from that. But it's a good, very good partner for the future, I believe. And if you go with that, we know that it's good joysticks that will last for some years for sure. So you can go you can close your eyes and go for that. We wouldn't recommend that otherwise. And we hope that those 15% will help you to get the setup that you need to start virtual gliding or to improve your setup. So try, if you have the money to get something cool, to join us and to fly with us, just go for it. We highly recommend it.
Back to the race. Tim Madsen still leading right now at 10.3, 2,000 meters, 200 kilometers per hour in his Ventus 3, 18 meters. Reaching 193 kilometers flown. That's it. Tim Madsen first at 10.3. Well done.
Well done, Tim.
Well managed.
Amazing. Yeah, very well managed. Amazing flight so far from him. Just leading the race, keeping cool, his head cool, calming down, and just going for 10.4. He needs to cross those mountains again, as you can see, and the north is coming from the wind. Sorry, is coming from the north. You can see again the socket here on top left of your screen, showing the wind direction against those ridges, and you will have to cross it. But indeed, the wind is only 11 kilometers today per hour, so it's quite okay. It's quite okay. It's quite safe to cross those ridges. You can be a little bit low. It's still okay. You will not get big downdraft, get -5 meters per second or -10, -15. It's going to be quite okay, quite safe for the pilots to cross the ridges again towards Pavullo. So it's more or less the last leg for him, because then the last ones are 15 kilometers long. It's just the final turn point to turn you towards Pavullo's airfield to line up with the runway and so on. So it's going to be very interesting. The length to go to turn point 4 now,
60 kilometers.
60 kilometers indeed, Jean-David, to go to turn point 4, and then only 15 kilometers to finish the race. So we're at approximately 70 kilometers away from the finish line for Team Madsen.
And maybe team after Timothy, after that we can have a look at what Team Madsen is facing. To have a look at his screen or his... Okay, thank you very much. So right now we can see the ridges perpendicular to this direction to 10.4. They are great cumuluses. They're still great cumuluses. A dying one there. But he needs to climb to cross the ridges and to fly as straight as he is doing right now.
I have some bad news for the French followers. Donapierre is outlanded now, and he's sending me a few messages. He just telling me that he's pushed maybe a little bit too much. He tried to fight as much as he could, but today was not his day again. And he will keep fighting until the end of the event to get the points and to try to get the best overall ranking that he can get. So he will continue to push until the end. He's keeping a good mindset, and he's very happy for Team Madsen, who is leading. He was next to him in the thermal, and he just rushed instead of staying with Team. So he should have stayed probably with Team at that moment of the race. Team is now sailing towards the first place in front of everyone. Back in the race, where are we, Jean-David?
We are approaching turn point 3 with Sean Churchill. Sean is now at the second position on this fourth race of the second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. He has a lot of pressure on him because behind him there are a lot of great pilots with the same speed and with some same altitude. And right now, Sean Churchill turning turn point 3 in second position. Great
Well
fight,
done.
Sean.
Well done, 75 kilometers to go for you, Sean. Same for you, Wojtek, going for the third place today. Wow, those guys are just leading the championship now. It's crazy. Same for Jarmo. He's there going for
And
the
Tamas
points.
Myers too.
Tamas, really happy for you. Tamas he's missed the first two
Exactly.
races, unfortunately, so he couldn't get the points earlier due to work issues, last minute issues. So he's pretty happy to be able to race for the rest of the week. Tamas, very happy for him if he scores some points tonight. And we have Arne Martin always there in the loop to get some good points.
So interesting view from Timothy right now above everything. So we've seen in the middle of the screen just different strategies to cross the valley and to go to turn point 3. But Delta 9 Darius is following a interesting path. I don't know what he expects from this way. Do you have an idea, Antoine?
Yeah. He's going to the ridges near Carrara. So the pilots went on the north side there. He's still on the north, but he's going for the ridges there. He's going for the full ridges because he's a little bit too low. He's at 1,400 meters, something like this, 1,500 meters now. And I think he's just going for that, trying to catch a cumulus here or something similar. And then he will just try to climb as high as he can here, most probably, and then try to follow those ridges like this here. He will try to follow here to continue the race. It was not easy for him. He's at a low point. He's lost probably 15 to 20 minutes with that. So he's trying to keeping up until the end of the race because it's never done. Maybe the pack in front will fall into a big hole and they will not get anything. It can happen, a big mistake like this. So in a race when everything is tight, this can happen, even with top pilots. So he's just holding up and trying to finish the race, to try to get some points at the end of the day. Witold Ozak, quite interesting because now he's falling behind. He was really in the leading pack 20-30 minutes ago, and now he's a little bit behind. Witold, he's gonna have to push a little bit more to get into the points for sure tonight. Same for Ben Fest, a little bit difficult as well. Ben is at 1,853 meters, so that's quite good still. But you can see TKM in front is climbing already 2,100 meters. So he has such a big lead now. Arthur Duke is pushing quite a lot. Arthur, 1,600 meters. He can see him, but he's way below compared to him. So interesting view from the 2D, and you can see really well the ridges, where the wind is coming from, and you can try to imagine yourself what's happening. Darius, he didn't manage to climb here, so he's going for the full ridges. He went a little bit too far because probably there was a cumulus here, probably was aiming for something right here, and he didn't find what he wanted to have. So that's bad, unfortunate for him. I hope as well he will get into the points either today or in the coming races. I don't want to have anyone with 0 points at the end of the week. I don't want that. Okay, so we will see, because we've had long discussions within Sailplane Grand Prix to talk about the 0 point club, we call it, when you have pilots who come for a week to race, and at the end of the week they don't get any points, and there is a lot of frustration in them. But that's the beauty of the sport as well. The scoring is very different to other type of racing in gliding. So they need to accept that Sailplane Grand Prix is very different, and it's only the position that does count. Today, in the real Sailplane Grand Prix, only 120 kilometers and 1 hour of race, more or less, and you get 10 points if you're the winner. Stefan Langer got 10 points. And tomorrow, maybe there are 300 kilometers, a very difficult race, much more difficult than what it was today for Stefan. He said it during the interviews, that he felt it easy for him because he was high, always high, and so on, just like what Tim is doing now. And tomorrow the winner is going to get 10 points again, and the day after 10 points. You're not going to get more because it was easier or harder. We don't give you points for your performance. We give you points because of your position at the end of the day. What we want is you to arrive first or second or third, and it doesn't matter the performance and how good you were, and if you turn 10.1 first or whatever. What counts is, at the end of the day, who's crossing the line first.
So now we can see on the 3D view Jarmo and Arthur on the back of the screen, who is climbing in a great cumulus, I guess. He was a bit lower than the other pilots, but right now this lift makes him way higher than before, and he is managing and is preparing the way to go through these ridges, just as the other contenders right now. Arne Martin with Vic Schoenemakers. They are trying to find some lift before going straight to turn point 4. Thomas Meyer is playing, is attacking. He needs points. 0 points scored right now. So he's trying to go straight to the ridges, go through, and finding maybe a better cumulus, a better lift after that.
Thomas Meyer, just next to those ridges here. You can see turn point 4, quite far away behind those mountains here, going at 207 kilometers per hour. He really wants to get some points. He was ready for the event. He told me he prepared and so on. He was ready. He needs to get those points to get a chance at the end of the week to be at least on the podium, because those guys are flying quite well. I think Wojtek is still there, but we've lost Bisset. Bisset Coast, the winner of yesterday, is falling behind here. So it's going to be interesting. I think Wojtek has a good lead to take the lead of the overall results tonight, probably followed by Tim Madsen. We will have a look. Sean Churchill is still there. So yeah, I think at the end of tonight, after this race, the leader of the overall results is gonna have something around like 26 points, probably around 26 or 25 points for the leader after 4 races, which is quite good already. A lot of points. So yeah, I think the winner of the event will have maybe 35 points, 35, 40. We will see, because the 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 more we're gonna go into the races, the harder it's gonna be, because everyone will fight more and more and more, will take more risk. So really looking forward to that, with the tension rising every single day. Sean Churchill, be careful, Sean, with the cloud penalties, because as you can see, you're flying quite close to the ceiling. Yeah, so now he's pushing and he's leaving, probably. Yeah, that's it. He needs to go. Don't take any risk, because then it's a penalty, a very big penalty. And I think they understood that. We've had a chat today about it, and we cannot do anything about it. Just stop 50 meters, 100 meters before the ceiling, not to be in the clouds and to avoid penalties. It's for safety reasons that they cannot fly in the clouds. We don't want to see that. Sean Churchill, very, very good pilot, telling it for the third time tonight, probably.
Yeah.
Very good skills. Yeah, he's really consistent. It's crazy to witness. I'm very happy for you. For him, sorry. I'm very happy for you as well, Jean-David. Huh? Don't-
Thank you very much, Antoine. Appreciate
do,
it.
do we have some questions on the chat?
Yeah, I was looking to it. So Chris on the FAI channel asked if they use rudder pedals in Condor 2, or it's just the auto rudder anyway, better, less, lose less, more perfectly flying. So most of the pilots are using rudders. It's more precise, and you have more ability to do whatever you want with a glider when you are flying. The auto rudder does not allow to manage and to control your glider as you want. So they do use it. We do an interview with some of them, and they showed us their stuff, and they have some rudder pedals. It's very important. We have some message to encourage Tim. He needs it. He needs to be. Thanks for this great flight.
It's not for you, Timothée, working in the background there. It's not. It's not for
Also,
the
it's also
procedure.
for you. Maybe it's for you.
Maybe it's for you. Maybe it's for you. No, we are very, very proud of both teams tonight.
Yanni say, very good, Yarmo. Just a little hurry up. You're the best. Thank you to encourage them. Please feel free to send us a message for all the pilots you want to see on the podium tonight. TKM also almost on final glide, say Julien. Yes, it is. So the overall task today is 270 kilometers. I didn't catch up the information. Did you see how many kilometers does the team have flown? Not sure.
227 kilometers and so it needs to do 43 kilometers at least. So indeed, he's almost on final glide. He's at 1,800 meters. He still needs to take at least one thermal, probably, because he's just 1,000 above and needs to do 40 kilometers. So it's not enough yet to fly at 200 kph or 180 kilometers per hour, whatever. So he needs to take at least one more after the ridges, or just a little. Oh, okay. Apparently, stopping to take one. So maybe the last one for Team today for race 4 of this second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. The pack is just behind him, rushing to get the points because Vitold and Ben are neck to neck here, and they cannot get into that leading pack yet.
Yeah, you see between team in the front and the contenders right now, we have 11 pilots. So everything is playing in this group. So anyone can get a point with a small decision, a small second right now. There are key moments for these pilots. Arthur, Tamas, Sean, Arne, Martin, David Redman, Yarmo, and the others fight for points.
Good racing, very good racing. Sean Churchill here, 2,100 meters, very good. Maybe we can have a look quickly at Benfest and Vitold, who are trying to rejoin the leading pack. There, yeah, they are behind for sure, a little bit higher than Norbert, but that's gonna be tight. They can aim for 1, 2, or 3 points if it goes like this, because I don't see this leading group falling so much before the end of the race. So they will need to hang up to get those points. They're gonna push for sure until the end together. Vitold is there, very good in his GS3. We have Ben a little bit behind, and who's below? It's Mihai Knows from Hungary, who that we've seen at the beginning of the race there. Mihai, he did a good start of the race, honestly. So yeah, he still needs to improve a bit. He's got 5 points on the overall scoring, so that's already quite some points. But he needs to get a very good performance on one day to climb on top of that overall ranking. Stewart Henschel is there, the British pilot, and pushing again after the thermal. He's got this energy and he's going to turn point 4. Tim Madsen still moving forward. Arne Martin is there with us, 220 kilometers per hour. As you can see, they fly fast. Arne Martin is in quite a good position. He's above Arthur Duke, above Wojtek. Sean, very well placed for the second place now. So very interesting. They are all together, but some of them have a slight advantage over the others. I think they will want to stop under these clouds that we can see. The first one, Sean is going to stop first, I believe, if there is something good. If there isn't, he needs to continue. That's okay for him, but for the others below, that might be a good reason to not stop and to continue. If it's just 2 meters, 2.5 meters, just go, leave them with the bad one and try to get a good one in front. You take a small risk, but if they don't stop because they've seen you going for the next one, they might want to continue and go for the next one, and maybe you can try to make them outland and lose all the points of the day. That's a big tactic to use. That's a very big tactic to use. That's quite often used in World Championships. Sean pulling very hard in front of the screen to take something. Arne Martin behind.
Yeah.
Arthur
Sean
Duke will continue.
No.
Continue, sorry.
should
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah, it's a good choice from him because now below is gonna be not as easy as for him as from now. TKM, as usual, very well placed, and maybe he's high enough. 238 kilometers flown, so he's high enough. 32 kilometers, something like this, to go. A little bit more, almost 40. No, that's it. 270, correct. So just 30 kilometers to go for Tim, and he has 1,000 meters to spend to do that. So he's high enough. He's just taking some lift on the final glide. We can see Halil Karoglu here on the chat from Tim Madsen. Brilliant team, very good flying. Alex Holzwilder saying well done team as well. So a lot of good comments on Tim Madsen's live streaming, very well flown today. Wow, what a lead. You can see that on the
Yeah,
PDA. It's just crazy what a lead he has tonight. Uh,
exactly.
crazy race. He has anticipated, yeah, uh, everything that would happen with those ridges when they had to cross the big mountain. Yeah, he has anticipated everything there. So it's amazing. Very good flying from
Yeah,
his side.
it is very interesting to see that everything has been set since the first turn point. It is when he turned first turn point that he took a strong decision, and it had an impact on all the race. And now he's very calm. For information, so Tim stopped at the lift where Sean and the other pulled very hard. He stopped. He cycle a bit, he climb a bit, and now he's safe. He had time, not like the others, because team, if he stops, he lose a bit of average speed. It's not so bad because he have a great advance. But the other, any stop will make a difference of a second, which is crucial right now. We have no idea who is going to score points or not. There are 11 pilots, counting all the contenders in this group. So one of them will not score. We'll see what is going to happen.
We have a very good overall view of what's happening right now. We have Arne Martin just behind that pack that is pushing, and he will push later on. You see, he's not far away, but he cannot push too fast. They all needs to stop. They all needs to stop here. I think Sean has enough altitude to continue on the final glide. It's going to be quite tight for Arne Martin, but maybe he can just made it like this. 33 kilometers to go for Arne. A bit tight, he cannot push at 200 kilometers. He will need to reduce his speed drastically to be able to join Pavullo at the correct altitude. Sean may stop here. I think he has enough to continue, but maybe not to continue at 220 kilometers. So yeah, it's quite interesting to witness what Sean will do in the next seconds. I think he's just pulling to take the energy and continue. Yeah, that's it. I would do the same. I would do the same.
This is very interesting because Sean tried one or two cycles, but he didn't stop. The others did a very strong turn to try this lift too, but it wasn't a good idea. So they just lost time. It was a great maneuver from Sean, maybe.
Yeah, but I think they need to stop,
Yeah,
and it's one of the last options for them. So I would stop whatever happens here because if there are no option in front, I'm
yeah,
stopping and I'm just accepting the fact that it's not the best one, and maybe that's where Benfest and Vitold can come back in the race to grab more points than what we expect tonight. Tim Madsen is crossing turn point 4 tonight, and afterwards we have the reporting point turn point 5, 51 Mirage in front of us before joining Pavullo. Is 15 kilometers away from the finish line, leading the race properly. We can say that.
behind him, the contenders still fighting for points. Wojtek in his 23. We can see this cockpit view. The bit rate is rising a bit. Stressful final glide, where any decision will make the difference. Should I stop? Should I go?
He's watching
Yes.
a lot his flight computer to make sure that he can make it. It's quite tight for him. He's not on the glide yet. Huh? He's
Yeah.
still looking for a good variometer and so on. He's at 1200 meters, so that's not enough. He needs to be in 20 kilometers away at 850, so that's not enough. He needs to stop, like the others. Maybe we can go back to the view with Arne Martin or with
Yeah.
Ben and Vitold later, just to have a big overall view of the contenders that are behind for the podium places. Here, I think Sean is gonna be second. Arne Martin is there as well. Yes, Thomas Meyer is a little bit too low. He will need to get some altitude. Wojtek is going to cross turn point 4 altogether with them. Jarmo Go on, Jarno, from the chat, as usual. David Redman is back. David Redman was behind.
Yeah.
Just a quick view behind them. We have Witold Norbert, and it's a bit late
Benfest.
for Benfest and Bisech behind all of them. Jarmo can aim for some points today to try to stay at least on the 5th position. Vic Schoenemaker's very well placed to consolidate his overall ranking. Wojtek is aiming to take the lead of the ranking, but taking quite some risk. Now, let's go to Wojtek crossing turn point 4 right now for Wojtek Soltyzik in just a few seconds. The overall leader of the competition after 3 races. We are at race 4 today with Wojtek. You see, he has slowed down a bit, 160 kilometers per hour. He knows he cannot fly too fast. He needs to climb. Sean is in a much better position. He's aiming for a direct final glide. He will not stop anywhere, and he can go for it. He can go for the second place. It's going to be tight with Arne Martin. Tim Madsen crossing the reporting point right now, 6 kilometers away from the finish line. Sean Churchill is second here to cross the turn point 4, going for the reporting point. And Tim Madsen is going to be ready for his win of the day, second win of this week race.
Arne Martin following Sean very closely in altitude and in speed, while Wojtek is lower and slower. The biggest mistake for him is to land out right now. So be careful, take a lift, and try to score some points. And Tim Madsen on the short final glide for the win. In a few seconds, he will cross the finish line in first position.
You can congratulate him in the comments. I know he's had a lot of support tonight, a lot of well done for him because he's made a very good job tonight, a very good decision making. He doesn't need to push even more, 230 kilometers per hour to cross the finish line. Well done, Tim, for this amazing race tonight.
Well done.
Race winner on race 4, second win for Tim Madsen during this incredible competition that we have. What a race. We can stay with him for a few seconds. Wow, what a race. A great winner tonight, Jean-David.
Yeah, it was impressive just after turn point 1. Amazing decision to fly safe, fly high to avoid being stuck in the ridges and to have a lot of decision to make a lot of options. It was a clever idea, but he needs to be strong to follow it until the end, and he managed it very, very well. So a lot of strong skills that made him a great pilot.
And he's going for the landing. So it's the same procedure as yesterday. They need to land facing north again. So he's pulling the speed brakes. He's going to go with the gear down to land on runway 02 in Pavullo. Amazing job from him tonight. Don't forget the wheel. Don't forget the wheel, man. It's going to be too late for me to tell him anyway, but I think the chat will tell him.
Maybe the landing gear should be good.
Yeah, let's jump into the reporting point right now with the leaders. Sean Churchill is there. Well done, Sean. What a great and consistent flight today. Joining right now the reporting point towards the finish line at 1,000 meters. Arne Martin a little bit behind and below. 215 kilometers per hour. Well done, Arne Martin. With behind, any chance for someone to pass over those guys? No, Vic is below. Okay, let's go a few people behind just to have an overall view. Yeah,
That's
They
it.
are stopping. They needed to
They
stop.
need.
We've told you that they needed to stop. It was not
Yeah.
enough for them.
I don't know if we can just turn a bit the camera to see who is behind, because it is a time to score points. If you were wise, you stopped before, and maybe this is now.
Yarmo is going straight to the reporting point. He's trying it. They need to be at 850 meters minimum. Otherwise, there is a penalty of 3 seconds per meter below 850 at the finish line. So they go for that. Sean Churchill at full speed, 230 kilometers per hour, to cross the finish line second of this race of the virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. Congratulations, Sean. Great job tonight. Great job. He's gonna pull again to get back to 850. We know that. He wanted to make sure no one would beat him on the line. Congratulations, Sean. From the UK, great racing. Arne Martin securing the third place for tonight, the podium. We will have a look with the penalties at the penalties later on, but I think it's quite good and they are all happy with tonight's race. Vic Schoenemakers back in the game. Finally, well done, Vic. Pushing 180 kilometers. He cannot do so much and push much more than that because he needs to be 850 meters at the finish line. So yeah, securing a fourth place, very well done from him. He's gonna get tonight with fourth place 6 points, meaning he's gonna get a total of 15 points after tonight, which is quite good, quite good.
And maybe after that we will see the others, because someone comes from nowhere.
Nice,
Congratulations.
nice. Yarmo, the
Yarmo
fan
is here.
is here. Well done, Yarmo. Good show today. Again, very consistent. Not too much risk. Always in the leading pack. Ready to jump on a good opportunity. There was no very good opportunity for him tonight. Probably even better tomorrow. But that's the main point. He's scoring even more points tonight to consolidate his ranking overall. So very good flying, Yarmo, once again. Very good tactician, we can see. Wojtek trying to beat him on the line. He
But
was almost second, Wojtek, a few minutes ago. Almost second. And then Sean made a good job. And I think he just dropped down behind all of them. Arthur Duke was as well among the leaders. They needed to stop. They were too low. They needed to stop. Thomas Mayer scoring the first point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 position for Thomas. 8 position, meaning 2 points for Thomas Mayer, scoring his first points tonight of the second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. Last point is for Stewart Henshaw, the British pilot here tonight. Well done, Stewart. Good job. Behind Norbert Kist, unfortunately, on 10th position with no points.
But he fights very well all along
Yeah.
the race. Norbert did it great. He tried to follow the overall group, the great pilots, but just a few mistakes, just a few wrong decisions, and as we said, a few seconds later, and this is no point.
Exactly. Unfortunately for him, very good flying, very safe pilot, no trouble. Very good guy. I'm very happy to have him for the world final. Honestly, very good guy. And yeah, I hope he will score more points in the coming days with this type of flying. Yeah, pulling 850, it's more than enough.
Yeah.
And they need to learn facing north. No one has done any mistakes for the arrival procedure so far. So I'm very happy with what they are doing, all of them. Vitor Drozak on 11th place tonight. Good racing, Vitor, but it was not enough. Same for Benfest. You see already offloading all of the ballast that he has. He shouldn't be. I think he's not happy with that. I think he's not happy. We will see. You never know. Huh? If there are some big penalties in front, maybe every second is important. I wouldn't deballast here, Ben. I would wait a bit. You don't know how many seconds are left and so on to get those points. So yeah, we will see. We will see.
So on the
Ben's
chat,
best.
we have some messages. John Davis said, well done, Sean and Yarmo, good steward, congratulations, team. What a great game, team. Good job, Delta 9. Oh yeah, but Delta 9 has not crossed the finish line, but he managed to went out of this situation. Congratulations, Benfest. And Zbisiek just behind him, going full speed.
So no points for the leader, for the co-leader with Wojtek,
Yeah.
but probably Wojtek is taking the lead of the overall ranking tonight after 4 races of the second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. Amazing racing. Thank you to all of them. David Raymond is coming. You see, they are quite close, only a few minutes away.
Yeah.
Only a few minutes away, but the position matters way too much. And that's normal. That's how it works, and that's how we like the racing as well. I think the viewers love this kind of racing too. So it's absolutely great. Mialik knows here 1,000 meters. He's not going to be able to fly too fast. He will probably try to fly as fast as he can and pull up at the end of the finish of the final glide. Sorry, towards the finish line. Joshua Arndt, he's done pretty good and pretty safe flight tonight. I think he's not happy with the results, but it was pretty safe, and we've seen him in several situations, good situations. Yeah, he must not be happy with the points, but probably at least happy for his flying. Good flying from Joshua.
Yeah, Joshua scored 4 points on the second race, so wish him all the best for the other races. He's able to manage to score other points, so we'll see on the next days what he will do.
So tomorrow is going to be the race 5. We're going to be all together. We are crossing our fingers for the real FAI Sailplane Grand Prix event. And what we will do after saying goodbye to everyone is show you the highlights of the day from these real Sailplane Grand Prix races that we've had today, with the win from Stefan Langer from Germany. Amazing race from him. Beating Sebastian Kawa, Maximilian Seis, and other great pilots in Pavullo. So I'm saying goodbye to all of you. Thank you to all the pilots. Thank you, Jean-David and Timothée, for the production tonight. And we leave you with the highlights. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, and thank you to all the viewers. Don't forget to subscribe and like our different channel to follow us, and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. See you tomorrow, guys. From the start, they are all getting ready here. 9.
And welcome to this Sailplane Grand Prix final. We are day 4, race 1, unfortunately, after 3 days cancelled. And the weather is still not so cooperative. So they had to make a task in this morning, which was just 120 kilometers length, just around Pavullo area. You can see the turn points currently on the 3D. But before going to the full race, we will enjoy the commentaries from the grid with some pilots. So let's go to Claire for enjoying the pilots on the grid.
How are you doing?
I think like everybody a bit excited, but not that much.
What will be your strategy? It's a very short race. What will be your strategy?
Can I tell you this evening? I think conditions are really poor, seem to be really poor, and even if it's a short task, story will be to remain as high as possible, I suppose. That is one point.
So a bit conservative today.
Really conservative, I think. Yeah, but at the same time, in Grand Prix, you cannot be too conservative. So yes, it's going to be exciting.
Okay, we will follow you. Let's see what Stefan just ran away. Let's go to see if Stefan is back. Stefan, did you have time to enter your task B?
Yeah.
Can we ask you a few questions?
Yeah.
Mainly, what do you feel about a very short task?
Yeah, the weather is not so good, so it's good to have a short task, and I would love to fly today, so I think there's no other chance to use this small window today with the weather. Let's see if it is possible. There are some cumulus clouds more in this direction, so the task B is in the better area, which is great. Yeah, looking forward to it.
A short task means no mistake possible. How are you dealing with that?
At the end, you can just fly and try your best, and yeah, then we will see the result at the end.
Okay, so you're not planning to be conservative.
Usually I have a look at the others, what they are doing. If it's a good idea, I join them, and if I think it's not a good idea, then I will try to make my own route.
Okay, let's see. We will follow you live, see how it goes. And we'll see if... Oh, I can see Giorgio with his FES to see what it's... Giorgio, sorry. He's entering the task B. Yes, can we interrupt you a few seconds?
Yes, change my task. Okay, I'm ready.
What is your minimal cumulus base to go cross country around here?
I am not confident with the region, but I heard that the minimum is 1,400 meters over the sea, 1,500 meters. I heard from other pilots, local pilots.
Do you know what we have now under that?
I don't know what happens in the sky now. We will see flying. And it's a tricky day, very short. If you miss a thermal, you are at the last. And we will see. I try to do my best.
So clearly a different mindset for the pilots you could see with Giorgio Galetto and Stefan Langer. Very different, and we are back with pilots. Just before the start, they are circling together, and you make a pretty nice and smooth start on the start line. First is Stefan Langer already with Giorgio Galetto, Yankee, and Eric Borgman leading the pack on the start line. Really, really nice start. Just on the leg one, way before the first turn point, we have already a spread with two groups of pilots. The right is Giorgio Galetto, making it really straight, and on the left is another group making a detour, but at the end it's not paying at all. Already Stefan Langer is leading the group on the left, and you can see the speed with Giorgio Galetto flying 190. Before turn point 1, we have clearly two groups, and the group on the left will be really, really low in a few minutes, and they have a pretty difficult day for the start. The group on the right, they are together, and already Stefan Langer is higher, making a better glide on the first leg, and everybody else is below 200 meters. But we are now closing to a first turn point. On the second leg, still some problems for Yankee Oscar, John Gatfield and Sri Victor Tilo Ligaos, way behind and lower, and they have to gain altitude before crossing on the plateau. We are now closing to the second turn point and close to the airfield of Pavullo again. And clearly Stefan Langer made a long straight, reaching the area of Pavullo and getting a nice thermal close to the airfield, and all the packs chasing behind, joining him below. Again, 200 meters altitude benefits for Stefan Langer, and then he is making some detour following the lines of energy to reach the third point 3. I think everybody behind will make the same idea to follow this detour on a bit on the south and following the lines of energy in the sky. And again, Stefan Langer has this kind of 200 meters advantage when he reached the next turn points. So we are now close to the third turn point, and Stefan Langer is again leading, and there is two chasing group, one on the left and one on the right of the screen, and the guys on the right will not have any advantage. And at one point, Mike Young and some guys, they gained a lot of altitude, 1,900 meters, and this is one of the key points for the final of the race. So Stefan Langer is now closing to turn point 4, chased by a group with Marek from Poland and Giorgio Galetto from Italy. But clearly he has an advantage, still with a lot of altitude extra, 200 meters. And he's now on the final glide for the turn point, control point, turn point 4, before reaching the final line. At one point, Sebastian Cabo is trying to push a lot, and he's making his own on the right of the screen, but he's lower and lower, and he has some difficulties. But clearly the fact that Mike Young was higher, even if he was a bit behind, he was able to reach back to Stefan Langer, and he was really close to reach Stefan Langer, but not enough to make a win. So Stefan Langer is the first, and we will have a talk with him just out of the cockpit with Claire for his impression from this race. Bravo and congratulations to Stefan.
It was impressive. You take the lead really, really early on. How was it to know that you were on the lead and you keep it?
It was nice, the first leg, because there were some nice cloud streets and I tried to really follow them as much as I could. The problem was we were only allowed to fly up to 1,600 meters in this area. So we had a small margin where we can fly and pull up and thermal and so on. And there it was better to just fly straight in the energy lines.
You saw the others that were slowly catching up at the end. How was it?
Yeah, I've seen them, but I thought I just need to try to stay up and see what the others are doing. At the end, at a Grand Prix, you only want to win or be before another. It's not the time in between is not a matter. It's only the position. So it was a game at the end with Mike Young, I think. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It was a really good race, really fun to watch. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It was Stefan Langer who won the first race.
And the winner of the first race in the 11th Sailplane Grand Prix World Finalist, Stefan Langer in Sierra Lima. Sorry. Thank you. Well done, Stefan. You see, that's what you get for flying without an engine. Well done, boys.